what does the screen say right now?
The screen is Hanji talking, and it says, if we don't rescue him quick, Eren will get eaten. Because obviously the piece of paper that Hanji had from Eren depicted in however Eren remembered it, a conversation between Ymir and Bertholdt about how Ymir ate Marcel and now has power from Marcel. And it answers the question that we had the last couple episodes of, well, what actually did Eren consciously remember and or hear from that conversation? Because they didn't really tell us exactly what he remembered. Because he could have just remembered that, oh, Ymir was out there for 60 years, you know? And that could have been what he wrote down. Mm-hmm. But now we know that he was, like, awake for that whole conversation and remembered it.
Why? I could be very wrong. It gives me the idea that Historia would be the one forced to eat Eren. Like, that was like my interpretation or takeaway from like the ending of the episode too, and how they both were captured. Mm-hmm. No, or somebody was gonna eat Eren. The way that they set it up, I thought it was gonna be Historia, but obviously we can get there towards the end of it.
It's definitely supposed to be her. Right now, before I can even start thinking about the royal family in that way or Historia, I have questions like, so Eren ended up with the power in a way that I'm going to assume that either his dad fed it to him and or whatever DNA of the person was in the syringe. Mm-hmm. And what if it was stolen? What if it was not meant to be given to Eren, but Eren's dad found out that, and that's why the Titan attack happened? I don't know. Like, the Titans came to get this thing, and Eren's dad stole it. I don't know.
It's a good hiding spot.
Why else would,
Eren's body's a good hiding spot.
Why would Eren's dad have it? If they wanted Historia to be the one that ingested this, why would they give it? Why would Eren's dad steal it for Eren?
If you remember the very brief scene we got with Eren's dad injecting him, it definitely seemed like he was on the run and in a rush, and that would lend credence to the idea of him stealing it. And then, because maybe he knew King Fritz's true intention of what he was going to do with it, and that led him to steal it and then give it to Eren, who he believed would do better, or just as a temporary hiding place.
And were they ever going to give it to Historia, or are they just giving it to her now because it's already known and it's already here and someone already ingested it?
Yeah.
Is this just kind of like a means to fix things?
Granted, we don't know that they're going to give it to Historia.
She's totally going to eat it. We saw the outro in season 2. There's blonde girls eating a person. Duh.
Yeah, well, I know. I'm with you.
I know,
and if we're following that line of thinking, though, right? There are blonde girls eating, you know...
Blonde girls doing what blonde girls do.
There are blonde girls eating the remains of what looked like to be a king, right? Or someone of royalty, and we thought that they could be Maria Rosensenna, then it, like...
Interesting.
They could have gotten the power from that to make the walls themselves. Are they trying to make another
interesting.
Wall? What?
You said that the person they were eating was the king.
It looked like it.
I just thought it was a person. I thought the guy standing in front of them telling them to eat was the king. But that could have been the priest or the lead wallist. And they could have been ingesting their father that just passed away, so they passed the power on or whatever.
Didn't it look like everyone was eating, though, in that?
No.
Yeah.
I think it was just the 3 girls.
I'm pretty sure it looked like... I'm gonna look... Can I use your pen? I'm pretty sure I'm gonna look because I think you were the one who caught that detail. That...
I think I was wondering if it looked like that and or they had red lipstick. But the 3 girls are the ones really... Which maybe... Oh my gosh. What if all 3 of the girls... are in Titan form, and they each had to direct Titans to make a wall with them.
Walls, yeah.
And so each of the girls are actually inside the wall. I think that's just their mouths open.
Their hands are up to them.
Is that like a praying?
It looks like this. No?
I don't know, because like then they show us the 3 girls literally in front with like pieces of meat.
I understand that.
So, and the guy's lips are red too, so it could just be like lips and mouths. I don't know. It's a little...
Regardless.
Because that guy's holding a book, so he's obviously not putting anything in his mouth.
I am 100% getting King Fritz vibes from this dude, and I'm 100% getting Historia vibes from these girls who seem like they are forcefully being fed or having to eat this person.
So is King Fritz like an...
This is why I said royalty, because it looked like he was wearing...
Is the true king and the true successor, are there really like two royalties here? Is there the royalty that's the head of the church and then the government head, and they are different? And really Fritz's family maybe took over but is letting the real royal family kind of live? Because like if we think back to Ymir, it was all like the blood of the king. She has the blood of the king.
Well, you know...
So obviously there was something weird going on if they didn't exactly know whose heirs were to the blood of the king.
Well, so is King Fritz in the know about Historia meeting her father right now?
Well, that's a good question of, did Historia ever get to meet her dad?
I don't think so. I think that it's a potential coup kind of thing, like... that the Wallace are trying to help out the Reese family and tried to keep Historia and the bloodline continuing for whenever this is coming to fruition. I just couldn't understand, like, it being the final meeting in, like, not in, like, the main throne room felt like it was kind of kept under wraps a little bit.
And he hugs her at the end saying that he's sorry, I'm guessing.
Yes. Okay.
And she's not as wrapped up as Aaron is. Like Aaron has like something in his mouth too.
Let's speed run the rest until then, and then we can talk about that because I think that's where most of my mind's at right now too. So the whole like torturing element, because there was one thing I wanted to note here for sure that I thought was incredibly compelling, other than Levi and Hanji outsmarting him. Do you know why the wars never broke out? First Interior Squad dirtied our hands to protect the peace. Whether that peace is something that's true or just manufactured and told to him. A teacher too smart for their own good. Interesting. Mm-hmm. A stupid couple who tried to fly. This was one of my favorite ones. They're obviously keeping people in the wall.
Yeah.
Then I'm thinking that they're also the people who not only made the walls, but made the Titans attacking the wall.
Mm-hmm. To make people want to retreat back in and stay.
Yep.
In my mind, Armin's parents have been killed by the interior police.
Yes. Okay. If they made the Titans to push them, to keep them inside the wall, they would want to give the people inside the wall a false sense of hope. Mm-hmm. That sense of hope being a group of people to try to go explore outside the wall, to try to fight for that better life.
But never give them the best people.
But never give them the best soldiers to do it. The top 10.
Sick.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, like, so that would mean that maybe Ymir was pushed off the actual, like, this society, this civilization's wall.
Yeah.
60 years ago.
Yeah. And turned into a Titan. Mm-hmm. This, the other flashback, it does
Krista's
look like...
there.
It looks like Historia.
Mm-hmm.
It could be anybody with blonde hair, though. But they have a book, which is very interesting. Oh, no, it is Krista. A whore from some ranch in the sticks, so it's definitely Historia's mom, I'd assume, right?
No. Historia's mom had brown hair. They drew this to be a kind of a dirty blonde.
Well, it doesn't necessarily... Okay, I meant in terms of text. Like a whore from some ranch in the sticks. Like, maybe this could be a person they were torturing for information or something. But, like, I'm thinking they're referencing Historia's mom when talking about a whore from some ranch in the sticks. Like, oh, this is the person who had an affair with Historia's father, and we're going to kill Historia and her for it. But they obviously didn't kill Historia. Interesting that they're wearing different types of clothing. These people are wearing, like, old, like, 50s detective clothing.
Yeah.
Not at all anything that the interior police we saw were wearing. So I thought that was... I have the king. I believe in the king and the peace within the walls. To all things we've done were justified. To think it hurt this much. Go on and torture me to death already. That's all I ever did with the bloodstained life of mine. Very, very interesting. Rice is the true royal family.
Then I really don't understand what King Fritz's deal is and why Historia and her family aren't truly on the throne.
Well, this is Rice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is this like a wanted poster?
No, I think it's more just an information.
Okay.
He has her eyes.
He has
or
kind
she
eyes.
has his eyes. I know, and he hugs her.
Historia.
That's why I feel like he didn't want to abandon her. He didn't want her to have to, like I thought it was like oh, you're an embarrassment and a bastard child, and I don't want you around. But it was obviously more like maybe King Fritz made him get rid of her or something.
So, well, no, I think that's definitely it. But the fact that remains is if King Fritz made him get rid of her, why is he allowed to be alive? So is it because that, going back to the outro of last season, does it have to be a female of the Rice family?
Prophecy. Maybe it's like a blonde young female. Maybe Krista, maybe she is his full, like, she's not a bastard or not an illegitimate child. Maybe she completely is legitimate, and because she fit this prophecy of matching Maria Rosensina, and the king wanted her gone. And
what is prophecy very easily tied to? Religion. And that leads me into thinking that there's the three factions. I think that the Wallace obviously were protecting Historia and keeping her alive, keeping that alive, and they're acting separately right now from King Fritz.
Yes, and I would add on to that by saying that they really meant that when Pastor Nix didn't say Historia's father was the one that they would answer to. But maybe Historia's father put the Wallaces kind of in charge of ensuring that Historia stayed alive and that they listened to her and that they remembered faithfully that she is the true heir.
I don't know where to go from that thought, though, because it's like, okay, well, what would the prophecy do? How would eating Eren and her becoming a Titan be any different than the Titans we've gotten so far? How would that help the Wallace cause? You know? What would that give the Wallace? What would because they're trying to protect the walls, right? So does that mean that they want another wall? Does that mean, like, what do they want?
They could, or they could also just know. Why would they want to protect the walls?
Why would they want her to, how would that fit into their narrative?
I mean, it could be just more, the Wallace, I don't know if they've ever necessarily said, we don't think people should be able to leave the walls. It was more just like, the walls are sacred. Do not break them. Do not touch them. Do not fix them. But if Maria Rosensina are inside of them, and so are Titans, of course they're sacred.
True, very true, but it could also be like the Wallace are like potentially putting forth this fake public belief to continue the actual history and knowledge of the Rice family
and
being
to
the royal
still get
family.
money.
And to still get money.
Financially get kind of their fingers in places.
And to remain.
And like roots.
Because if they were truthful about it and rebelled, they would be surely executed.
Because everyone wants to believe in something. And if you were to say, these walls that keep you safe, that have kept the peace here and protected you from those gigantic human-eating things, are these walls, and they are sacred, and they were given to us by a higher power. Like, I could definitely see why a lot of people would have jumped on that train.
Yeah.
So, you're totally right. It could have been more of a not a disguise, but definitely there in order to be in the public eye and kind of get their roots down and have support. I think I was like, we asked ourselves, and we said it out loud. Well, why were they not okay with the scouts finding out who Historia was? We said that at the beginning by killing Pastor Nick. Like, why is that such an issue when she's just some not some royal family, some high up rich guy's illegitimate daughter,
Wait, so when you said that they didn't want you said they didn't want the scouts to know?
Yeah. That's why they were trying to figure out what Pastor Nick had told the scouts.
Yeah, the military police? Oh.
The military police were trying to figure out what Pastor Nick had told the scouts.
I thought that...
And we were wondering, well, why is her being an illegitimate child? Is it just an embarrassment? They don't want... It's embarrassing. But now we know it's because Pastor Nick knew who Historia really is.
Okay, I thought that they were trying to get out the information that I thought that they were trying to figure out where Historia was from him, because I thought prior they were the same faction, but I understand now.
Didn't the guy admit that that's why they killed Pastor Nick?
Yeah, but I'm just saying what I thought prior.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, which is very interesting though.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder.
Because I was like that. An embarrassment of an illegitimate child is not significant enough to be so worried that Pastor Nick told the scouts about it. And I couldn't wrap my head around why that would be so important. But it's obvious that Pastor Nick protected, even from the scouts, the biggest piece of information.
Yeah. I wanted to touch on one thing before we leave this discussion. He said something in the terms of I've been over here, I've seen them many times, you know?
Yeah.
Why was he there?
He was doing a checkup. He was doing a checking in on them. He probably, since he was the doctor, he probably just kind of did yearly checkups on people just to make sure they were okay. Probably just kind of went around from town to town. Maybe he was kind of friends with Mika's parents. And so it was more like a friendly visit. I'm in town. Let me check in on you guys.
Yeah. The Ackerman storyline has me floored now. Now that I'm going back and looking at this scene, it's
obviously Levi looks like he could be the older brother in this family.
Yeah. There's so many interesting things in this world. I'm just looking at a circular piece of cement right now in episode 6 of season 1. And I'm that's weird. And it's not weird. I'm just so interested in everything. The embroidery pattern has been passed down in our family for generations. I wonder if that's something. I don't know. When you have children of your own, teach it to them. I wonder what that embroidery pattern is, if it's anything. How do you get children? I'm so excited to watch this show, as a rewatch.
Rewatch is going to be amazing for this show.
We don't
part of me kind of wants to do it in the rewatch and dub, just so I can experience, because the lines could be changed slightly from what's subtitled to what's read by the voice actor, and also whether you agree with it or not, voice actors make different choices sometimes, and it could be interesting to hear a character being taken a slightly different way.
Yeah. I definitely would like to watch it in dub and just to try to appreciate their voice actors as well. But I don't know if we're going to do the rewatch yet on the channel. If we do it once we're done, that won't be for a while, of course.
I know. But, we still have new content that's not even out yet for Attack on Titan.
She's the last descendant. And it's
maybe the last one they haven't acquired yet. That's
true. Okay. All right. All right.
Okay, so, yep, Eren and Historia are in the same room right now. Eren has, his mouth gagged. Historia is about to eat him.
Maybe.
No, who else? King Fritz. No. They obviously I think they want Historia to eat him.
Why does Hanji think that it's only a matter of time for Eren to be eaten?
Because why else would they have captured him?
Yeah.
So that means they have that same information of eating something gives you the power.
But it's they've known about Eren for a while now.
So why didn't they try to eat him prior?
Probably because the story has just popped up, but we don't know what that does.
Oh my god. What if Historia's father sent her away and didn't tell anyone where? As a protection thing. And Historia's mom raised her, and that's why she had a different name. Is because he knew that if the king knew about his daughter.
No, that would make a lot more sense in the whole timeline of things. right? Like in like, oh, because we had said like, oh, well, why did they just now give her a different name? Oh no, they would have had to do that at birth, right? And like, so she probably was sent away to like a different place and raised there.
And maybe he was saying it was illegitimate and she was illegitimate, and he was telling everyone that.
Yeah.
But really,
fucking
she
Jon
wasn't.
Snow, dude.
Okay.
All right.
Whew, okay.
All right. You good?
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time. Levi and Hanji outsmarting him. Levi and Hanji outsmarting him. Levi and Hanji outsmarting him.
Levi and Hanji outsmarting him.